Hello students, welcome to Medical360. Last night, the MCC announced the first provisional allotment list. It's going to be confirmed more or less, it will normally be the same, but last night the entire data came out. What we're going to do now is to actually go one by one in terms of categories, which is you actually have the AIIMS, you have the INIs, national institutions, you have the state institutions, you have the deemed institutions. What we'll do is we'll first right now cover AIIMS, we'll also do the deemed and so on and so forth as we move along. And the highest closing cutoff across each of the AIIMS is what we'll cover at this point in time. And at a category level also, we'll try to do it as far as the highest closing rank is concerned. So what we're doing is, we're talking of provisional allotment for AIIMS. All the AIIMS that you have, will cover the round 1 cutoff of this year versus round 1 cutoff of last year. And also where it ended last year by the time the entire counselling ended. Now, while we're doing that, a lot of students also, that NEET is a very complicated counselling process. You actually have deemed universities, you have all India counselling, then you have state counselling. So if you need any personalized counselling to help you get into the right MBBS college, do send us a message on this number, 8130 376334. Your message should be NEET, and one of our counselors will call you and help you understand and get you into the right medical college if your merit permits, right? And also do subscribe to Medical360 because we are creating a lot of content to help students decide for themselves. And this is a series that we're doing along with SRM Medical College Hospital and Research Center, which is affiliated to SRM IST, which is based in Chennai and Tamil Nadu, because the endeavor is simple: to create as much information and data out there is concerned so that you can decide for yourself. Now let's talk of what is happening at AIIMS. At AIIMS, when you look at general category, this year, the highest closing cutoff at this point in time in round 1 is 3,948. Last time it was 3,597. So it eased off by about 351 ranks in the general category. And this happens when some of the very good state medical colleges possibly happen, or when the number of seats also at AIIMS also would have increased. But this is what happened as far as general category is concerned. By the way, last year, while the first round cutoff was 3,597, by the time the entire counselling ended, at 7,143 also, students did get a seat in AIIMS, one of the AIIMS. And we're talking of all the AIIMS put together here. We're not talking about particular AIIMS. We'll talk of an institution-wise as we move along. At an OBC category level, last year was 4,627. This year it's 4,382. So it's become more competitive because the highest closing cutoff in round 1 has fallen from 4,627 to 4,382. By the way, last year it ended with 8,617 by the time all the seats of OBC in AIIMS are filled in. The third one is SC, where it is 33,807 last year. It is now 28,615. So it's become extremely competitive by 5,192 ranks. Last year it ended at 51,417 also. Students of SC got into an AIIMS. ST category was 55,735 last year. This year it's 44,940. Again, a drop of 10,795 ranks. That's massive. But it ended last year at 70,969. So you can expect much better this time around. EWS last year was 6,467. This year it's 5,492. So again, a drop of 975 ranks. And last year it ended with 12,057. So you can expect a similar 11,000 kind of a highest closing this time. This is at a category level across all the AIIMS, and what I'm talking about is the highest closing rank this year, round 1 versus highest closing rank round 1 last year. And I also told you where it ended by the time the last seat was filled in these things across the counselling rounds last year. Now let's talk at a AIIMS level, each AIIMS level. Now this is the data at a AIIMS level is what I'm about to show you. AIIMS New Delhi, the highest closing rank this time around is 52. Last year it was 48. So it's eased off a bit and it's -4, and last year it ended after round 1 itself. So not much change happened. By the way, AIIMS, it is very difficult unless you keep going down to the second half of the AIIMS. The top half of the AIIMS typically stick with round 1, they finish and then they move on from there. AIIMS Jodhpur last year was 392. This time it's 344, ended with 48. Last year the first round cutoff is the last round cutoff also. AIIMS Bhopal, last year first round was 531. This year it's 571. So it becomes slightly easier. But last year there were a few seats left. For even 634 rank, people did get a seat in AIIMS Bhopal. Bhubaneswar 706 last year. This year is 664. This last year it ended with 785. Rishikesh, this year it's 685 last year. This year it's 537. And it ended with 816 last year, though the round 1 was 685. AIIMS Nagpur was 862 last year. This year it's 792. Ended with 1,030 last year. Mangalagiri 1,357 in the last year. This year it's 1,314. So competitive by 43 ranks. But it ended in the first round itself last year. AIIMS Raipur, 1235 last year, 1008 this year, a drop of 227 ranks, that's massive, and ended with 1376 last year. AIIMS Bathinda, 1733 last year, this year is 1630, a drop of 103 ranks, ended with 1798 last year. AIIMS Hyderabad, 1782 last year, this year is 1705, a drop of 77 ranks, ended with 1874 last year. AIIMS Patna, 1537 last year, 1593 in the current year. This is general merit, remember, I am not talking of category level. This will give you an indication of where the things are moving. Drop of 56 ranks, and it ended with 1939 last year. AIIMS Kalyani, 2276 last year, 2188 this year, ended with 2417 last year. AIIMS Gorakhpur, 2091 in the round 1 last year, 2114 round 1 current year, 26, ended with 2602 by the time the last seat was filled in. AIIMS Bilaspur, 2183 last year, 2260 in the current year round 1 cutoff, ended with 2788 by the time the last seat was filled in. AIIMS Rajkot, last year was 1997, this year is 2039. And ended with 3252. So a lot of journey happened from there to here, if you noticed. As you keep going down at the bottom, you'll see that the last round cutoff expands dramatically. But in the better ones now, once you get a seat in AIIMS Delhi, you take it, you don't leave it. AIIMS Raebareli, 2600 last year. This year is 2634, not much of a difference, but ended with 3736 last year by the time it finished the last round counselling. AIIMS Vijaypur, 3389 last year, first round cutoff, 3327 first round cutoff this time around, and every 3993. AIIMS Deogarh, 3164 last year. This year is 3090, a drop of 74 ranks, and every 4159 by the time it finished its counselling. Moving further, AIIMS Guwahati, 3177 last year. This year is 2997, 180 ranks drop. That's a big drop, but ended with 4420 last year. AIIMS Madurai, 3597 last year, 3427 in the current year. It's a drop now, ended with 7143. Now, these where you should be very careful. If you look at this entire closing, but for AIIMS Madurai, everything stuck and everything was completed by 4400. If you now look at this particular data, right? AIIMS Madurai comes in with 7143 because last time AIIMS Madurai was opened much later. So the last seat that was filled in was as it kept moving on and on and on, right? So this is not going to stick this time around. The 7143 will drop dramatically down to 5000 in my opinion. So the last AIIMS cutoff that you're likely to get is 5000 is my opinion, because this is an outlier and they should not look at it to decide for anything for yourself as far as AIIMS is concerned. So with that being the case, if I were you at AIIMS, this is what will happen. This 7143 will be about 5000, not more than that. OBC would be about this 8617 might stick with about 8500 or something like that. Right, but the general medical, what I'm saying is this will be 5000, nothing more. The others can be a bit volatile up and down. That's because AIIMS Madurai came in last and they tried to fill in the seats, and because of which people did a lower rank also could get into it. Otherwise, if you take every other AIIMS, because that 4400 or something is what it ended with. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, if you need any help, I keep telling you, we always are there to help you out. This is the number. 8130376334. Send us a message NEET and we'll have someone call you up and solve any of your grievance. Do subscribe to Medical360 because we are creating a lot of content to help students like yourself. And this is an advisory series. This advisory and information series is presented by SRM Medical College Hospital and Research Center, which is affiliated to SRM IST, which is a deemed university in Chennai in Tamil Nadu. I hope this helps you. If you want anything to be covered, send me in the message box. I'll be happy to cover that for you. Thank you so much. Namaste.